Huh. Huh. I'm just thinking these intros are feeling a little bit tacky. I couldn't help myself, guys. Welcome back to our streams. My name is Andrew Hockrattle, and this is the Daily Creative Challenge for Adobe Illustrator. This is the very special across the world version. It is 7 p.m. here in California, but we're not here for California. I mean, if you're here in California, it's great. We are here for our friends in Australia, in India, and any other time zone. So let me know where you're watching from. I know we had some friends from India. I know we have some friends in New Zealand, in Australia, and yes, everyone's. Yes, yes, it was definitely that intro is one of my best. Chef's kiss. Mwah. So I want you guys to go ahead and let me know where you're watching from because it, again, makes me so happy and gives me the power to get through these long days of streaming to know that you're joining me on that journey. So tell me, where in the world is you watching from? Hi, Steve. That was me waving to you, Steve, down in Australia. Welcome to the Daily Creative Challenge. This is where we level up our skills in Adobe Illustrator. We have a lot of fun and learn a whole lot in these challenges. They are not intended to be the most amazing thing you've ever made. They are made so that you can understand and explore new concepts. So that will be really fun. Hello from Sydney, Australia, Laura. Nice to see you. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to hop in. We've been doing these challenges for, my goodness, 2 weeks now. Man, you guys are still here. Thank you. We have only 2 more challenges. We have the challenge today and then 1 more challenge tomorrow. Today's challenge, we're going to be looking at monograms. We're using the width tool. We're using the measuring tools. And tomorrow is the #1 requested thing that I get in the chat. We are talking about blends. We are talking about all kinds of nice blends. So we're going to be blending between shapes. We're going to be making a super complex certificate to celebrate our victory of making it through our fitness challenge. So tune back in tomorrow, same time, same place. Now, let's hop in and show you where you can get involved right here at behance.net/challenge/illustrator. This is the place that you can get involved. Just go ahead and click on this button and it will notify you every time that we are live with the challenge, which will only be tomorrow because there's only 1 left. And if you missed anything, you can scroll back and check out what we have done in the last few days. We have done some incredible stuff, and you can see that incredible stuff over here on Discord. Seamless segue. Right here, bit.ly/AI Discord. The AI must be capitalized, so go ahead and go to bit.ly/AI Discord. That is the place. We're all in there together, just hanging out, just vibing. Someone is mowing the lawn outside my window, so hopefully you guys can't hear that. So that's where we all get along and get together in this awesome creative community. You can join that and let's take a look at what's going on over there. People are posting their challenges. That's right. We worked with editing colors a little bit yesterday. I know I've seen a couple of you guys post that. And today we're working with line widths. We're going to be making a monogram using line widths. So lots of really fun monograms coming out of here using those different line widths and some of the measurement tools. One more thing that I want to show you and talk about is on Behance at the end of this challenge, which is tomorrow, you can post using hashtag AI Daily Challenge. And I want to see you post all of the things together that we've done in these last 2 weeks. Post a nice little case study. Tell me what you've learned. And what you can do there is you can just tag hashtag AI Daily Challenge. There's my face. Hashtag AI Daily Challenge. And we'll be able to look at those and see what we've all learned together, as well as be considered to be featured in the Best of Behance for the Daily Creative Challenges. There's a very special gallery. You get a nice little banner on your profile. So go ahead and check that out. Make sure that you post. I'll remind you again tomorrow. Don't worry. I'll always be reminding you. Also, there is a great opportunity tomorrow to get your portfolios reviewed by going and tweeting or posting your portfolio using hashtag Adobe Office Hours. Nick Longo and I are doing a show at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If it's a little bit late for you or a little bit early for our friends in Australia, you can always catch up and watch it after the fact. But hashtag Adobe Office hours, and you'll be considered for us to review your portfolio. Tomorrow we're talking about dealing with nightmare clients, how to prioritize the purpose of a project over the preferences of yourself or the client. So make sure you tune back in tomorrow. All right, that's enough talking. It's been 5 minutes. You all know I need to cut myself off. 5 minutes of talking and announcements. Let's hop into our lesson today. We'll be learning about monograms, and as always, we have been learning through the context of a fitness challenge. It's been a little bit 80s, a little bit wild, and a whole lot of goofy. So we're going to have some fun. Hopefully we can put a smile on your face today, make you feel a little bit of joy, as well as fill that brain with some extra knowledge. So let's hop over into Hawk's Gym, and I'll be back in just a minute for us to do our daily creative challenge. And we are here. We are back in the gym. And yes, Steve, the very fond memories of the Jungle Explorer montage. That was another set of daily creative challenges that we had done. I thought about doing a safari again for our friends in Australia, but one with a fitness instead. But yes, there is a design safari, if you want to look that up, that happened a couple months ago. And I will also be back at the end of August doing another set of daily creative challenges. So mark your calendars for that. I believe that we'll be doing a film noir, a little detective theme. So tune back in for that. But today we are working with monograms. We are going to be working with some awesome tools in Adobe Illustrator. A lot of people are familiar with the pen tool and the brush tool, but today we're going to be using the pencil tool. I don't know a lot of people that use the pencil tool, but it is a super, super powerful tool to get some cool shapes, as well as combining it with the width tool. Oh boy, it's gonna be so good. So let's go ahead and hop on over into the thing that we are doing today, which is Adobe Illustrator. Challenge number 8, create a monogram and apply it to fitness gear using the measure and the line width tools. Super fun. And yes, the space theme was my favorite. The space theme was my favorite to film because I literally got to go lay in a field and my roommate filmed me. So yes, Joanna. So let's go ahead and hop into Adobe Illustrator. This is the source file. If you don't have it, again, you can download at behance.net/challenge/illustrator. And today, let's make some measurements and make sure that we are tracking that progress. So I'm going to grab the pencil tool. It's over here right underneath the shaper tool. If you don't see it, you can also just hit N and it will pull up the pencil tool. And we're going to draw a line. We're going to do a monogram, which is basically 2 letters put together into 1 letter. So we're going to do Hawk's Fitness. We're going to do an H and an F. So I'm just going to draw this right here. So I have a nice little, let's see. Again, I'm just going to keep drawing it until I have one that I feel like, oh yeah, that's it. There we go. So, oh yeah, that's it. That's what we want. So we have drawn this with the pencil tool, and I literally did that by just clicking and dragging. Now you saw that it made it actually very smooth. And I'll show you, I'm going to kind of, there we go, pump this up a little bit. There we go. So you can see the anchor points here are very smooth, right? There aren't a ton of anchor points, and that's because I have the smoothing turned all the way up on the pencil tool. So if I click the pencil tool and I come over here, let's see this, grab the pencil tool, just use N, and if I hit enter, it's going to bring up a dialog box. That dialog box is going to allow us to change some of the different settings. So if we go over to accurate, pull this all the way down, it's actually going to not smooth it at all. It's going to take exactly what the input is of my mouse pulling across, and it is going to make it very rough and bumpy. So we'll see that. The other one we want to toggle on here is Alt key toggles to smooth tool. This is very helpful. The pencil tool, especially with the smoothing all the way down, can get real bumpy, but using the smooth tool and having this checked to hold Alt just makes it easier for us to smooth that path out. So I'm going to try to replicate this. Again, my smoothing is turned all the way down on this one, and watch what happens. So if I pull this up, right, and I'm doing the same curve, you can see it's a similar curve, but boy is it wonky. It has so many anchor points, and that's because it's not smoothing that out at all for us. What we can do is we can grab the pencil tool, and again, we can hold Alt or Option, and that's going to change to the little circle. The circle is the smooth tool, and if we click, we're going to kind of just show it and try to smooth it out, right? Think of it as kind of massaging clay. We want it to go and kind of smooth out to the shape that we want. So if we kind of keep smoothing out this curve here a little bit, right, we want that to really curve over, a little bit more round. There we go. And then kind of smooth that out. There we go. So now we've smoothed, and it's pretty much turned into the same amount of anchor points as this one over here. And that's just smoothed it out. So if we have the smoothing turned all the way up, I don't know a reason that you wouldn't have the smoothing turned on unless you want like that really weird wonky kind of look. But having the smoothing turned on is just super easy and creates these very smooth curves. All right, so what we're going to do is to make this H, I'm actually just going to drag this over here, right? I'm going to use 2 of these to kind of use the vertical strokes for the H. And what I'm going to do now is I want it to have that kind of drawn look, right? Like calligraphy where it's, you know, thick on top, thin on the bottom. And so I'm going to grab the width tool. And the width tool is right over here. You can see it at the top. It should be on the bar. And as we hover over these anchor points, you can see that we can pull out from these anchor points. So let's just click on this first one where it's starting and pull out to the side. And you can see actually where it's where the path is going to go. It's going to get bigger. It's saying, hey, at this point, I want it to be this wide. So we're going to let go, and you'll see that it has made it very, very large here, and then it's tapering down all the way to this point. In this point, let's go ahead and pull this in. Again, we're just grabbing the white nodes here, and we're just going to pull that in so that it has a little bit of dimension, right? Now you can see that it has a very thick top and then goes down to a little bit thinner down here. Now, there are also some options that we can do. We can zoom in, and maybe here we just want this to go into one side. If we have the width tool, instead of pulling both of these in, right, you'll see that it's actually pulling both sides. If I hold Alt or Option, it's going to let me pull just one of them. So we can make the inside or the outside thicker or thinner. So let's just pull the inside all the way in. And now we have some nice momentum really swooping down there in this shape. So this is looking good to me. There's one more thing that I want to do and want to try, and that is adding a little bit of thickness here. It feels like it's getting too thin too quick, and I want to maintain the thickness and then eventually get a little bit thinner. So we're going to come over here to the width tool, and we are going to click this anchor point, right? And we are just going to hold Option or Alt and drag it. And just like a shape, it's actually going to drag that width. You can see that it's saying, hey, this width needs to stay that wide, all the way to about here. There we go. So it's going to maintain that width for us. It looks like it's a little bit too big, so let's go ahead and put it down to 90. And hello, welcome everyone to the stream. This always happens halfway through. 100-some people pop in. So welcome to the stream. This is the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge. We are learning about the width tool right now. So with this selected, we have used the width tool, and we have said, hey, right here on this first anchor point, we want it to be this wide. Over here, we have said the width needs to continue on through this anchor point. And if you go all the way down this anchor point here, one side is going to be pulled completely in, and the other side is going to be a little bit thinner. So that's great and all. We're like, cool, this is a cool shape. It's got a nice little swoopity swash. But this one over here needs to be the same. Right? We can't just click here and then like eyedropper over. It's just going to change the thickness. And then if we go in and try to match it with the width tool, it's going to become a nightmare. So check this out. What we can do is we can actually grab this shape here and then come up here and this is a brush profile. What we can do is click on this little download. That's just going to save the brush profile. We're going to name this Swiggity Swash. There we go. And hit OK. Now it's saved as a profile, right? It's telling us, oh, if you're doing anything with this brush, it's going to have wide, wide down to the thin on one side. So if we select this other shape, we can simply come up to this brush profile, click right here, and it's going to make that identical brush profile. Same thing if I just grab the pencil tool. If I have that profile selected down here, when I use the pencil tool, it is going to make that brush. Oh, actually, let's put this wider. Oh, I turned off I turned off my smoothing, see? So if anyone remembers how to do that, put it in chat. By the time that you do, I will tell you. How am I doing this? How am I changing the smoothing? What button did I push to pull up this menu? Let me know in chat. All right, so I'm just gonna swoop it out, nice little L there. And again, I wanna come down and just grab this brush profile, and we're gonna take the stroke up, and now we've got a really cool L that actually looks pretty good, using that swoopity swash to give some dimension, right? Really cool, really helpful to save those profiles. The button that I used to bring up that dialog was Enter. I had the pencil tool selected and then I hit Enter. So let's come over here. Actually, let's keep that because I just like that L. It's kind of cool. Let's come over here and let's do I want to do it like an F top there, and then also the crossbar for the H. So again, I'm going to grab the pencil tool just using N, and I'm going to do a nice little swash here. That actually looks pretty good. See how it smoothed it out for me so there aren't as many anchor points? And then I am going to, again, just grab this profile, and then I'm going to use the eyedropper tool to eyedrop the width or the stroke weight of this other one. So we're going to bring this down just a little bit so it's got some nice dimension. There we go. Looking super swashy. And now we want to get the top of the F, so we're just going to use the pencil tool again. I'm going to kind of swoop down here, and again, change the brush profile right here, and eyedropper for thickness. And there we go. Let's move this around till we hit somewhere that feels a little bit right. There we go. We got a nice little H and we got a nice little F going on. Kind of cool, kind of fun. So let's go ahead and zoom in here, and I'm going to show you one more thing that you can do, and that is using the measurement tools. Underneath the eyedropper is the measure tool. And let's say that we want to put a nice little stroke, right? We want a nice little line. So I'm just going to grab the pen tool, and I'm going to make a little line. There we go. This stroke needs to be like 20. That's way too crazy. Nope. Actually, that's what we're going to do right now. I was like, why am I doing this? That's what we're doing right now. So we're going to have this stroke, and we want it to match the width right here, just to make sure that it looks cohesive. So we can actually zoom in here, and underneath the eyedropper tool is the measure tool. What we're going to do is we're going to click and then drag. So if we click on this corner here, and then we are just going to drag. You can see that it has a line, and that little dialog that popped up is giving us all the measurements. So this line, the width, the height, the angle. And so what we're going to do is just drag this over here to the other side. So over there we can see it is a 38.9 degree angle, and the width is 7.44. So let's say 38.9 and 7.44. All right. So now what we're going to do is grab our line, and we're going to rotate and hit enter and go 39.82. Y'all, I forgot what it was. So I'm going to grab the measurement tool one more time, pull it over here. Let's see, 39.53. All right, 39.53. So we're going to rotate, and we're going to go 39.53 and hit OK. There we go, it's got that perfect rotation. And then I also want to know what the width of this is. So again, grabbing that ruler measurement tool, I can click and drag to see what the stroke is right there, and it's 7.4419. So I'm going to set that up here to 7.44. Hit enter, and now it is the perfect width, and we can pull this down here. And there we go. Now we've got the perfect little line to make sure that it looks like these have maybe some nice little fun serifs. There we go. So it's at the perfect angle. It also is the right width for us to be working down there using that measurement tool. So very, very helpful to use the measurement tools anytime you can. It's super helpful if you're working on something and want to add a stroke, right? So let's say over here, I have this T, right? And we're like, oh man, we need to add a little bit of an extra like swoosh on the T. I can use the measurement tool, and this is mostly how I use it, and click and measure and say, okay, cool. The width is 19.1. So now if I want to add a little swoosh, I know that my stroke needs to be 19.1. And I can add it right here to this T. And with some alignment help, you can see that it would, in theory, there we go, align perfectly, right? So now that width is perfectly aligned because I know how wide that letter is using the measurement tool. I can just use the stroke and continue on that letter or add on to a design. So measurement tools are super, super helpful. The last thing that we are going to do here is we are going to add our monogram to something. We are going to add it to some kind of fitness related thing. So let's come over here and use Adobe Stock. Adobe Stock is a great resource for you to grab comp images, to play around with designs, to even license some stuff for some final designs. And I want to put it on a kettlebell. So we're just going to type in kettlebell and watch this. So let's say that I want to put it on this kettlebell, this red one right here. What I can do is I click on license and it's going to send automatically to my preferred library. So I hit license and it is saving to my default library, which is my DCC, which is Daily Creative Challenge, where you are today. So I'm going to come over here and go to my Creative Cloud libraries. I have DCC selected and you can see right here that it is already put in my red weight. I simply click and drag and I'm going to put it right in here. So I'm going to grab my monogram and apply it over here just on top. And because it's strokes, we want this actually to be line. So we're going to, or to be shape. So we're going to go to Object Expand Appearance. And then one more time, Object Expand. Hit OK. I'm just going to group that. We could Pathfinder it, but I'll just group it for now. And then we're going to change it to white, shrink it down, and right over here. Now we have a nice little comp of our monogram on a kettlebell. So it's always good to put your work in context. So if you can, grab an image, toss it on there, show me a comp in your daily creative challenge. But that is what we did today using the pencil tool, as well as using the line widths tool and the measurement tools to get the angles, to get the widths of things, to really play around and experiment with what we could do. And so I love the brush profiles because I literally could come in here and let's say that we wanted to do let's literally just do AU for Australia. That's not good. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's do one of these and then like a swoop, a swoosh, and then maybe here, and then like a big U that swoops this way, right? So we can just select all these. We're going to turn on this brush profile. This might actually look really bad. Where did my brush profile go? Oh, I think did I grab the brush tool? Oh, it's not stroked. Okay, so I'm going to put a stroke on this. There we go. And grab our brush profile all the way at the bottom here. Let's go ahead and chalk this up. Sure, and now we've got a kind of cool looking AU. Kind of rad. Yeah, I'm in for it. It's something interesting is happening here, right? That on this one, I actually start at the bottom and swooped up, and then this one I start top and swooped down. Watch what happens here. We can come over here to our stroke panel, and right next to the profile, right above my head, we can actually flip this vertically or horizontally. So we want it to start at the top. We click on the vertical switch. Actually, is it horizontal? There we go. We'll click on horizontal so it'll switch it so that the left and right of this profile will change. And that way we have the stroke on top, right where we want it. And we're just going to maybe rotate this out a little bit, bring this down. There we go. Now we've got that nice A. So now it has a nice A and a U created with that nice little profile that we have. And again, we can grab the pencil tool and change it to the smooth tool and kind of smooth out the curve on this U a little bit, right? Maybe we want it to be a little more curved. We can just smooth that right out. So what I want you to do is make your monogram using the width tool and then post right here at bit.ly/AI Discord. That is the place that we are going to be posting our work. People are posting, of course, right now, as they do, posting their work in here. And I've promised and promised and promised, and I will follow through on my promise right now. We will be going live right after this stream until pretty much 11 o'clock tonight. We're doing 3 hours tonight probably. Hanging out. We're going to do a lot of feedback, and then I'll continue on with some work. You guys will get to see my process on a project that I'm actually working on, so you can stick around and hang out with that. You can follow along right here at hawk.co. Hello, Wade is here. What's up, Wade? So you can follow along right here at hawk.co on Behance. I will be live in 5 minutes. I'm going to go run and grab some water, maybe make some popcorn, grab some chips, and we are are going to hang out, have some snacks, maybe have some drinks, and give you feedback on all of the daily creative challenges that you've been doing. And then after that, I'll be actually building some social media images and templates for an actual client that I've been working for. So you can tune in later for that. In about 5 minutes, we'll go live there. And then in about an hour and 5 minutes, about an hour and a half, we'll be live with the other content. So come hang out. It's a Hawk night. Come hang out with me. It's going to be so much fun. I want to see you there, and I will see you again tomorrow for our very last daily creative challenge as we begin to work with blends. All right, I will see you all later in about 5 minutes with a bag of chips and maybe some popcorn. Talk to you later. Bye.